This video is for you if you're a life coach or a health coach or a coach in any capacity. This is about rapid relief homeopathy and how we use rapid relief homeopathy at the New School of Nutritional Medicine when we train our students who are trained to become not just nutritional medicine practitioners but also integrative psychological coaches. First of all, before I do go down deeper into this world of coaching, I just want to add that this video is about promoting a book, and the book is called Rapid Relief Homeopathy, Every Day, Any Day, the Rapid Way. And all the money that is being raised from selling this book is going towards our student clinic at the New School of Nutritional Medicine. Why are we doing this? Because we know that when we have clients who come to the school, they're looking to come because of low cost opportunities. They cannot afford the full fees. And also functional tests can be expensive. So the money that we're raising will go towards paying towards the functional tests. It is my passion to be able to do this and to actually offer this service to those who could normally not otherwise afford it, but also to actually bring rapid relief homeopathy to people who've never even considered it, never even used it, may have used it a bit here and there, but really didn't take it seriously, didn't really know actually the level that it can be used in. Okay, so that was just a disclaimer there, and also that if you invest in the book that you will be helping somebody on their health journey. I want to now first of all just break down coaching. If you're listening to this and you're listening to it, you're not a coach, but you're thinking of maybe becoming a coach, thinking maybe joining the school, this is how we actually break it down. Simply what coaches are addressing, I say simply because that's on a very simple level, but it's more than that, is where is somebody now? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Okay, and what are the options to get there? Are there any obstacles that are in the way? And then what are you prepared to do to address those obstacles? Okay, so where are you now? Where do you want to go? And in order to get there, what are the options? So for example, you might plan on studying, or you might plan on using rapid relief homeopathy, and you might have some obstacles to start off with. You might not believe it. You think, well, if you can use it at home, why isn't everybody doing it, etc. So we look at these questions, but looking at these questions then we end up going deeper with our clients. So the coaching team do a great job at the New School of Nutritional Medicine. And I'm just going to give you an example of why I wanted to integrate integrative psychological coaching into a nutritional medicine course. Okay, so first of all, I really want to emphasize this. So when we have clients, and I put it on this side example, which is really common, somebody who comes in, they want to lose weight, they've been told that they've got type 2 diabetes, want to lose weight, want to become insulin sensitive again, and they want to start exercising and get their health back on track. So in this case, it's a 32-year-old woman. She's been diagnosed with PCOS. She's got insulin resistance, all the stuff that comes with it. She wants to lose weight. She wants to have a baby. So what she does is, as a nutritional therapist, who also one of the students says a nutritional therapist is integrating the psychological coaching, they put together the plan for them. They understand where they're coming from, what their deficiencies may be, and how to support their blood sugar and what else they can do to actually help them to conceive. So this particular client then follows through, has a perfect breakfast in the morning, starts off with all the 3 food groups, balanced blood sugar, feeling great, then gets to lunchtime, has a lunch, and then by sort of 2 p.m, 3 p.m, she's feeling irritable, jittery, hungry, and wanting something sweet. So she's good, in inverted commas, she goes for dates. She chooses to have 2 dates with a bit of peanut butter, a sprinkle of Himalayan salt, job is done, and she's okay. Next thing you know, she's had a dinner at home and it's been great. She's had it with a partner. They've had a big, huge salad with some salmon, and they've added nuts and seeds to it and olive oil and what have you. Great. Balanced meal, fantastic. Lo and behold, an hour later, she's sitting down, grabs a tea, has a chocolate bar, and then maybe a bit later has a glass of wine. And it's kind of gone downhill. Now, this is not uncommon. I will repeat, this is not uncommon. And as a nutritional therapist, I used to see this time and time again. People start off great, and then a few weeks later they fall off the wagon, as they call it. And it's not about willpower. It's not about being lazy, and it's not about can't be bothered. There is something else going on for that person. And this is why we've integrated psychological coaching. But then the rapid relief homeopathy comes in because when you're working with that client, okay, so you know that with like when you're working with the nervous system, we're going up and down from feeling safe, connected, and we're socializing, everything's great. Then we might have a bit of a sympathetic spike and, we're feeling fight or flight, a bit hypervigilant, and then we can go back to safety. So we're always going back and forward, okay? Some days we might be stuck in one particular too long in fight or flight maybe, and then we're feeling even more jittery, and then we want food, we want sugar. And that's about self-soothing. It's about what the sugar is representing. It's about what the alcohol is representing. It's not just about calories and bad food and being a bad person. This is about what's going on underneath. So when a client starts to work with us, nutritional therapists, we see this, and usually nutritional therapists do not know how to work at that level, because they're great at putting plans together, they're great at making it personalized, they're great at analyzing functional tests. But what do we do with the human being who is struggling? They are struggling day to day, they are struggling with stuff that's coming from the past that's now playing up in their present. So this lady in the morning, perfectionist. The perfectionist in her was great, all great intentions, had a great morning, and then gets to lunch, manages to get through, and then has that dip, but then sticks to being good. And that's that kind of sympathetic sort of spike, fight, flight, where she's getting jittery, feeling a bit anxious and hungry, and she reaches out for dates. Then by the evening, she's again great with the dinner, and then by later in the evening, she's self-soothing. She's actually gone into what we can also say she's kind of dissociating, numbing out. And that's really important to understand, that this is the client's journey. As they're doing that, so as you work with your clients, you will probably find that sometimes what happens is that how they're feeling mentally, emotionally can express itself physically. So for example, one client, and I'm not a coach, so I'm not pretending to be a coach or playing coach. I'm just explaining what our students are training to be, and how I value coaching so much in what we do as practitioners. And I have seen clients where they end up getting an acute symptom, and it may be that they're incredibly now rageful. They are angry because before, sugar kept that anger down. It kept them numb. It sort of suppressed their true feelings. So as that anger rises, sometimes they might not want to express it. They feel bad about it. There are homeopathic remedies that we use acutely in those situations. So for example, anger can come out in a urinary tract infection, and you might want to ask, well, what happened? Or you might even know that you saw them last week, and now this week they've got anger, they're getting angry and stuff is coming out. They might get hives because they're angry. They might get a UTI because they're angry. They might get actually colic, cramping pains because they're angry. So there's lots of different remedies. There's cholesynthesis if it's more of a cramping pain, a gut pain. There's also staphysagria if it's a UTI that might have come up from feeling angry but not being able to express it, holding it in, it's coming out physically. It might be also hives, and it could be Arsenicum album, where they've been controlling everything. They've got OCD, their house is clean, their diet is actually really controlled, and then they just sort of let go. This is all about what's going on for the person underneath. And as they have these blips, these kind of what I call emotional blips that are actually cathartic, and instead of suppressing them this time, as you know, as coaches, you hold that space and allow them to express it. But if they get deeply lost in it, especially if it comes out in physical form, whether it's hives, whether it's a flare-up, whether it's a UTI, as I mentioned, whether it's sinusitis, you can actually use rapid relief homeopathy. So as we all know, all sorts of feelings can come up. There can be fear, there can be shame, there can be grief, there can be sadness, there can be crying, there can be UTIs, there can be sinusitis, there can be ear pain, there can be sort of weird pains in the body that are shifting around. There can be times of wanting to be with somebody, they don't want to be left alone for, they go through a phase of not wanting to be alone. They want to be around friends or on the phone all the time. These things happen as people unravel and they heal. And I know, having known the team, the coaching team, is that this is nothing new. But what can you do when they actually present these symptoms and they get a bit stuck? Or if these symptoms come out in a physical form. So in other words, they're somaticizing their mental emotional symptoms that are now coming out in a physical form, you can use rapid relief homeopathy. And in this book, we take you step by step how to use rapid relief homeopathy. There are also QR codes with videos that actually explain it, especially if you're a visual auditory learner. The videos are there for you as well. The book is written in such a way, it's practical, it's got some real life stories in that some of us have used or I have experienced over the years that I've been practicing homeopathy. But the goal is to get people to start using, practitioners like yourselves, to start using this modality in your practices so that when people get stuck, they can shift forward rather than hold it and stay there. And we know that even as a nutritional therapist, I know that people can get stuck and then reach out for antibiotics, or get stuck and then end up on, and no judgment at all, cough syrups. And the cough syrup is because a cough syrup is sweet, you know, and they've given up sugar. So always bear that in mind, that you have other tools that you can use in your practice to actually support your practice and support your clients. Okay, I hope that's been helpful and it's given you some food for thought. And if you invest in the book, I want to thank you in advance for supporting the student clinic at the New School of Nutritional Medicine.